Okay, let's be real. We spend so much of our lives staring at screens, right? And there's just a ton of noise out there about what it's actually doing to our eyes. So, in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that. We'll look at the real research and finally separate the myths from the realities.
All right, let's just jump right into the big, scary question that's probably on your mind. Are all these screens, our phones, our computers, are they literally making us blind? It's a totally valid concern, so let's get a real answer.
And, it's no wonder we're all a little worried. I mean, many of us are spending over 9 hours a day glued to our digital devices. Just think about that for a second. That's more time than a lot of us spend sleeping. When you're looking at something for that long, day in and day out, you can't help but wonder about the long-term consequences.
But here's the thing. A lot of that concern is actually fueled by some really persistent myths. So before we dive into the real issues, let's just clear the air. Let's tackle these common fears head on and see what the science actually says.
Okay, let's start with the biggest myth of them all. The idea that just staring at a screen is causing permanent, irreversible physical damage to your eyes. I mean, it's a terrifying thought, right? But is it actually true?
So what's the reality? Well, top eye health experts all pretty much agree. There's just no solid scientific evidence to back this claim up. That tired, gritty, blurry feeling you get after a long day, that's temporary eye strain. It is not permanent damage. And the key word here is temporary. It goes away once you give your eyes a rest.
All right, now let's talk about the supposed main villain in this whole story, blue light. We are constantly told that the blue light coming from our screens is toxic, that it's just destroying our retinas and going to lead to vision loss.
But here's a little bit of crucial context that gets left out. The single biggest source of blue light in our lives isn't our phone, it's the sun, and by a huge margin. The amount you get from your screen is actually tiny in comparison. Now, while there's no proof that this tiny amount damages your retina, research has shown that it can definitely mess with your sleep cycle.
So, if you believe blue light is the big bad guy, then the logical next step is to buy those special glasses to block it, right? I mean, the market is just flooded with them. They all promise to protect your precious eyes from your screens.
But what do the experts say? Well, the American Academy of Ophthalmology is super clear on this. They do not recommend these glasses for computer use. And the reason is simple. There's just no scientific proof that they actually do anything to reduce digital eye strain.
Okay, so if it's not permanent damage, and it's not really the blue light from the screen causing all this misery, then what is the real culprit? Why do our eyes feel so awful after a long day at the computer?
Well, the answer is a very real condition called computer vision syndrome, or you might know it as digital eye strain. And here's the most important thing to get. It's not about the screen shooting out harmful rays. It's all about the physical strain that's caused by how we're using our devices. And I'm willing to bet the symptoms are going to sound pretty familiar.
It's not just about your eyes. You know, that fatigue, the dryness, the headaches. It's also that nagging pain in your neck, your shoulders, and your back from being hunched over a laptop or staring down at your phone all day long. Okay, now for the good news. Because computer vision syndrome is caused by our habits, it means we actually have the power to fix it. This is a totally manageable and preventable problem. And you know what? The solutions are surprisingly simple. So here's probably the single most effective habit you can start today. The 20-20-20 rule. It's so simple. Every 20 minutes you're on a screen, just look away at something that's about 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. That's it. That's all it takes to give your eye muscles a much-needed break, and it can dramatically reduce that feeling of fatigue. Your physical setup, your ergonomics, is just as important. You want to keep your screen right at eye level, about an arm's length away. Try to sit up straight, and get this one's wild, you have to consciously remember to blink. Yeah, studies show we blink about half as often when we're staring at a screen, and that's a huge reason our eyes get so dry and irritated. For a little extra relief, over-the-counter artificial tears can really work wonders for that dryness.
Also, a quick tip, adjust your screen's brightness so it matches the light in your room. It shouldn't feel like you're staring into a lamp. And of course, to protect your sleep, really try to put all those screens away 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed.
So, all these habits are fantastic for managing that day-to-day discomfort. But when we talk about true long-term eye health, there's one final, absolutely essential step we need to cover.
And that step really begins with remembering this. You are in control of your daily comfort. Prevention is absolutely the key. But it's also crucial to know that some symptoms of eye strain can actually look a lot like symptoms of more serious underlying issues. Because look, self-care can only take you so far. The only way to be absolutely certain that your eyes are truly healthy is to get a regular, professional eye exam. And that leaves us with just one final, very important question for you to think about. When was your last one?